When's the nurse?
We worked it out. Who was reading what ahead of time? And apparently, I'm the nurse. I'm Lord Capulet.
You're also the nurse.
No, I'm the nurse.
But I have the nurse here. Does she have to do it because we're Romeo?
I ended up doing all the nurse.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I'm the nurse. That was a total setup, apparently.
And Romeo. And Lady Capulet.
I'm
Okay.
Juliet. That's it.
All right. So it's still it's Monday night. And it's been a Monday. Okay,
Make
I got
it
this.
big.
I'm
got
sorry.
this.
I interrupted what you were
Sorry,
saying.
we haven't maximized our screen and it just looks weird. Okay, there we go. Okay.
R.I.B.
So this is a Monday, and it's been quite a Monday. The whole story started on a Sunday. Remember, Sunday morning, there was a battle in the streets of Verona between the Montagues and the Capulets. After this battle, where the prince had told everybody, this happens again, somebody's going to die, it's going to be you two, Montague and Capulet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet Romeo, who's super depressed because he's in love with this girl named Rosaline. His cousin Benvolio talks him into going to this party where he falls in love at first sight with a different girl, Juliet. Juliet just happens to be a Capulet. And after they decide that they're in love and kiss each other, then they find out that they are actually enemies. And it's too late then. Then they make plans to get married. And then on the day of their wedding, Romeo's friend Mercutio gets killed by Romeo's now cousin, also enemy, Tybalt. And then Romeo in turn kills Tybalt, and things are pretty messed up on the day when Romeo and Juliet just got married, the Monday after the day they met, the Sunday. Now, it's actually dawn is breaking, and it's Tuesday at the beginning of this, that like it's just now Tuesday when Romeo and Juliet are met again. And we've skipped a little in time. Last that we talked, it was about the Capulets talking to Paris about marrying Juliet to Paris. She doesn't know this yet. She hasn't gotten this word yet. She's been in her room with Romeo, who climbed the rope ladder to be with her overnight before he has to run away, according to the friar's plan.
To Mantua.
Yes, because he's been banished. And if he doesn't get out of town, they're going to kill him.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Wilt thou be gone? Is it not yet near day? It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore, stay yet. Thou needst not be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How's my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
So just to start this up, it starts
sweet.
out as they're at the balcony. They've had this loving night, one night together, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna leave. You can't. It's not daylight yet."
Can't we
And
just pretend?
all the evidence of daylight, she's changing it up. That's not daylight. That's not what that is. Those aren't day birds. Those are night birds. And he's like, "Oh no, it really is. It really is morning." And she's like, "No, it isn't. It can't be. You need to stay." And he's like, "Okay, you're right. It's not day yet. I'll stay. And you know what? Let them get me. I will die. I want to stay with you too."
Yeah.
And then he's like, what do you want to talk about?
I really love
Literally,
that.
Let him catch me.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it is so incredibly romantic and sweet.
It is. It's
Because
very lovely.
I mean, he says, "Juliet wills it so."
yes, I will die.
And he calls her my soul.
My soul.
How are you doing, my soul? Let's talk. It's
Yeah.
not daytime. I want to pretend with you. I'd rather pretend with you and risk
pretend
getting
things
caught.
are fine and be with you. He doesn't want to leave anymore.
Yeah,
than
he
she
says
wants
he
him
can't.
to.
He doesn't have the will to leave right now.
Mhm.
So Yeah.
But then as soon as he gives in, Juliet
Yeah.
realizes how really dire the situation is.
It is. Hie hence, be gone, away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
I'm the nurse, I thought.
your lady mother has come to your chamber. The day is broke. Beware, look about.
Stealing my lines.
Then, window, let day in, and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
They kiss, and then Romeo climbs down the rope ladder.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, I, husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, think'st thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee, now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookest pale.
And trust me, love, in my eye, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
Okay, so this starts out not so bad. They get interrupted by the nurse, so they know they have to really do this because the mom is on her way. And she's like, you're going to have to write to me all the time. It's going to be like forever. It's going to feel like forever. And wait, do you think we'll even ever see each other again? She's like, of course we will. And we're going to laugh about this in the future. This is just all going to be memories when this is all said and done. And then, so that sounds good. And then she has this line, the one where she's like saying she has an ill divining soul. She says, methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. That's that foreshadowing that we've been talking about. Now, foreshadowing means that it's hinting that there are going to be events in the future. She, just like when Romeo was saying that he that has the steerage of my course, take my sail. I think that something's going to happen to me tonight. Something's going to happen to me tonight that's going to cause me to die. She's like, I'm looking at you right now, and it's like you're dead, and because you look so pale, and it is like the light of morning and all that. And so he's like, yeah, well, and we're also sad. He says, dry sorrow drinks our blood. It's like, we're very pale because of the sadness of having to part. It's like, you look far away and pale and dead to me too. He doesn't say those words, but that's what he's saying. But he's like, it's just because we're sad right now. Yeah.
Romeo leaves.
Ho, daughter, are you up?
Who is that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
And as we get into this, let's understand, Juliet's not talking about the same person that her mom is. Her mom comes in and she's like, you can't bring him back with tears. And she's like, yeah. Okay. But all through this, they're talking about two different things. This is really a testament. This whole scene that between mom and Juliet is a really testament to Juliet's ability to be smart. She's able to carry on a truthful conversation that her mother gets absolutely the wrong idea from. Okay.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain, and he be many miles asunder.
Okay, and now that's usually put as an aside, and I don't know why it doesn't. Well, it does say it there, but part of it's an aside. So the villain and he be many miles asunder, and then the rest is not usually put as an aside.
Really?
Yeah, she says it as
to her mom. God pardon him. I do with all my heart. That.
Yes.
Okay, agreed. So if then I could read it this way. Villain, and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I do, with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
So she's saying, the mom thinks, she's like, it grieves your heart because he killed your cousin. In fact, what grieves her heart is that he can't be with her.
That is because the traitor murdered. Wait, the traitor murderer lives.
I, madam, from the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
Okay, so that really illustrates it there. Okay, you're crying because he's a traitor and a murderer and he's still alive. And she's like, yeah, lives away from my hands. I wish that nobody but me could take out that vengeance on him. She doesn't want anybody to take any vengeance out.
Indeed.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram, that he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man.
Okay, pause in the middle of that line. So
Woo!
that little piece there, Lady Cappy's like, don't worry, we'll get our vengeance. We're going to get somebody to kill him. We're going to send somebody to Mantua and take him out. And
particularly
so,
poison, right?
right, well, yes,
Unaccustomed
gram. We'll get him poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
He won't know what's coming. And Juliet's like, I'll never be satisfied with Romeo until I behold him dead is my poor heart. You know,
so not behold him dead.
Yeah, her heart feels dead. Yeah,
she's playing with words.
And she's saying, you know, when you find somebody to poison him, let me know, and I will give him the poison to use. I'll send it so that he'll sleep. Only she doesn't mean sleep; she means sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her mom.
She's forming a plan now.
She's thinking, well, I will prevent that. I'll get in on the plan, and I'll be the person who provides. I don't know where she gets her poison. Why her mom thinks she has a source.
Yeah.
But she's saying that she would like to be the one who provides the poison. Yeah. Okay, you were in the middle of the line.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah. But now,
where?
Right,
find thou the means, and I'll find such a man.
Find thou the means. Oh, but now I'll tell thee. But now I'll tell thee, joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they? I beseech your ladyship.
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
Okay, now that's a fun line right there, because she's saying that, oh, your dad has planned something for you. You're not expecting it, and I wasn't either. This is exciting.
Yay, Lord
Mm-hmm.
Capulet.
Mm-hmm.
You do you, brah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's mad.
I think she is a little bit.
And she's like, this is what we're doing, daughter. Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn. The gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now she says happily and joyful. She wants her daughter to be happy with this guy. You're lucky. You're getting this great catch.
Yeah, and he's not a bad guy. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Yeah, this is literally like Juliet's first tantrum and defiance against her parents. She's probably never really said no to them or had a reason to, but she's like, no, I won't get married. I'd rather marry Romeo, which we all know is true.
Yeah.
But her mother would think it isn't. So she's she's freaked out. She's taken by complete surprise. This is not something that she had on her radar that was going to happen. And now, oh no. Yeah, this is news indeed. Okay.
Yes.
But now,
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it. How he will take it at your hands.
so this is the typical, oh yeah? Well,
Wait till
you're going to
father
talk
gets
to
here.
your dad.
Yeah.
He gets here.
Oh,
And he gets here. Okay. How now? A conduit girl? What, still in tears? Ever more showering? How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Okay, look, Mom. A minute ago, I felt a little sad for Lady Capulet. She's lost her nephew, whom she loves. She wants to get vengeance, and blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's a little bit of sympathy there. She doesn't seem that happy that the marriage has been hurried up. But here, one time, her daughter's like, I won't. And she's like, and I'm done with you. You may as well be dead to me.
Mm.
That seems a little bit harsh. Okay, but Capulet's like,
It's very complex, this
soft,
character.
yeah, soft. Take me with you. Take me with you, wife. How? Will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
Okay, she tries to save it here because he's mad at her for not being thankful about how he's fixed up this nice wedding plan for her. And she's like, I'm not. Okay, I'm thankful. Okay, but I can't be proud of it because it's something I don't like. He doesn't
It's
take
not
this
going
well.
to go well.
No. How now, chop logic? What is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minion, you thank me, no thankings, no proud me, no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion, out, you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, what, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church a Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me, my fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilding!
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so. That's the nurse.
Nurse.
And why, my lady wisdom, hold your tongue, good prudence, matter with your gossips, go.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God, you got it.
May one not speak? May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool, utter your gravity or a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone and in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair domains, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender, to answer, I'm not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. Oh, but as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, my hand on heart advise. As you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Heavy.
Okay, in a nutshell. It's like, what? Thank you for what? For not, but don't thank you? Proud, not proud? What? No, you're going, or I'll drag you there. name calling, name calling, name calling. He calls her a bunch of horrible names you would never call your child. But he's super, super mad. Okay? You defy me? Oh no, that's not happening. She gets on her knees and tries to get him to listen. And he's like, no, you're disobedient. You're going to do this, or you're never going to look at me again. I will disown you. You're my only child, but you seem like one too much right now. You're a curse. And then the nurse tries to jump in and say, don't talk about her that way. That's not okay. And he yells at the nurse and tells her to get out. And the nurse doesn't, by the way. And good on her for that. She doesn't run out. And then everybody's trying to get him to stop. Even Lady Capulet is like, you're overdoing it. And he's like, it makes me mad. I do everything for her. I work. Everything I do, it's about making it good for her. And I find her the best possible guy. Not only does he have everything he needs to be a good husband, he even looks good. I got her one that nobody would turn down. What are you even talking about? Okay. And so if you don't do this tomorrow or on Thursday, if you don't get married on Thursday, you're out. You are I own you. And I'm giving you to my friend. Period. That's it. If you don't, I will never acknowledge you again. You won't be my daughter anymore. And nothing I own will ever be of use to you. You will have nothing.
Go think about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's this one part where he says his fingers itch.
Yes, I underlined that.
Yeah. It's like, I hate you right now.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, it's violent.
Oh, he's like itching for a...
This is like bad dysfunctional family moment. He lost it. He's the dad you never say no to.
Okay.
Okay, and Juliet.
Tense. Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Okay, now that's actually hurtful. So this line is actually really important. The one that Juliet says here is like, is there no pity sitting in the clouds? And sitting in the clouds, that's in heaven. Like, does God not see what's happening to me? Is there hello, is anybody watching this? This is not cool. And my mother, hey, don't cast me out. Just
Postpone it just a little.
Let's take our time here. This is freaking me out. Okay, if you push me into this, I'm gonna die. I will die. Don't force this. And she's like,
Whatever.
Fine.
Fine.
I'm done with you. Now remember, her mom's not exactly super close to her.
But gosh.
Yeah.
It's their only child.
Yeah.
Okay, so mom goes.
And it's just Juliet and the nurse.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. That he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as it now doth, I think it best that you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were. As living here, you no use to him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence's cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Okay, now before we get to this last line, because the nurse leaves and Juliet's alone, this is actually pretty big. Okay, so it's one thing for dad to get mad and freak out on her, and even for her mom that she's not even that close to be like, I'm done. I'm not even having this conversation. In this moment of incredible grief and actual suicidal threats. And the nurse says, look, here's the deal. Maybe the way we both get out of this is that you just marry Count Paris. Because remember, the nurse is party to this, meaning that she could get in trouble too. Yeah. And she's like, there's probably no way out of this. And Romeo is not around. You can't really be a wife to him. So this Paris guy is a good looking dude, and he's a good guy. He's a lovely gentleman. I think you're going to be happy. Just do it. Okay. So that was the nurse's idea of support. And Juliet's like, you mean it? That's from your heart? And the nurse is like, yep. My heart and my soul too. Or else beshrew them both. Curse them both. And she's like, amen to that. Juliet's like, yeah, curse them both. When she says amen, that's what she means. And the nurse is like, what? And she's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to go, hey, why don't you tell everybody I've gone off to confess my sins? And so the nurse is like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die.
So this is her last shot. She's going to go to the friar and ask him to help her because she's desperate. And if he can't help her, she's going to end her own life. Otherwise, she'll be incredibly shamed by the events that have occurred and also forced into marriage with somebody that she doesn't want to be with.
Woo.
So she can either lie and marry somebody
heavy.
she doesn't want to marry and ignore the fact she's already married to Romeo, or she can tell everybody what happened and her life is basically over.
Whew. So this was a pretty long scene because being the end of the act, right? So it's kind of setting up.
It also
the
sets up
tension.
so many future events.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the words.
So on the first page there of 38, so jocund.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know, I think that's yellow or golden.
Bright, like a bright
I'm going to look that one up.
sunshiny.
I'm going to model something here, guys. When you're not sure or you can't remember, you can double check. So look up, what's our next one as I'm looking that one up?
Okay, the next one, do you have one?
One that I saw,
Cheerful and lighthearted, sorry.
Domain.
Is that what
Or
that
domains and parts. Domains.
Domains.
Domain. It's just domain. It's French, so you don't
Okay.
pronounce all that end part. But so the domains are just the parts of the like domains could be like parts of your land. Domains are they use it both the times you've heard it in this one so far have been body parts, like the domains,
the parts that make up a whole.
Yeah. Okay. So in this case, jocund is cheerful and lighthearted.
So cheerful, lighthearted day.
Jolly day. It's a happy morning.
Yeah, makes sense.
Tweet.
I have again. So just remember, if you don't know what adieu is in context, you may pick it up, and that's where Romeo is leaving, right? And that's just goodbye in French.
Yeah, adieu.
Adieu to you and you. Oh, okay. So down here at the bottom when Juliet says, feeling so the loss cannot choose, but ever weep the friend. So can you explain what, because she's in that double talk with her mom.
Yeah.
Right?
So by talking about the friend, mom thinks it's the cousin and it's really Romeo.
So weeping for the friend, and her friend in this one, she's speaking of Romeo.
She's feeling the loss because she's weeping for her friend.
Okay. And I know I have more. Do you have more too, Fionn?
I don't think so, actually.
It's
so
a long
much.
scene.
I have so much.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the renegade. Is that renegade?
It is renegade.
Okay, banished, same banished, renegade or renegade.
Yeah, so that's somebody who's against, an outlaw, basically.
And then unaccustomed dram is like a
A
poison.
dram is a small amount of liquid.
And unaccustomed, would that just mean like a rare or a special? Strange?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Chop logic.
Yeah.
Is that literal? I mean, it sounds so
I
literal
think
to
it
me.
is kind of logical.
Like you're talking crazy.
Yeah.
You're not making sense.
Yeah, not making sense. I'm going to see if it's in a dictionary on here because that's so archaic to me.
Then we can go to the next one, which I have. Proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next. Fettle your fine joints.
Prepare your bones, girl.
Fettle means to like ready them.
Get
ready. Your bones is happening. Okay. And what green sickness carrion, is that like a moldy rotten thing?
The green sickness is something, it's a female thing. I wish we had our little guide for that, but yeah, it's like it's a girl related sickness, and carrion is like a birds that eat dead things. So so
we just called her a vulture with a disease.
You disease
something like that, yeah.
And you tallow face. Tallow is waxy.
Improper reasoning.
Oh, improper reasoning. Chop logic. Improper reasoning. So then that tallow
Yeah.
face,
Just a waxy
like a-
face. He's just making mean.
he
He's saying mean things.
he really, and
And
then
what
what
does
is
it mean to drag thee on a hurdle?
But he would put her
Oh, I
like
heard
okay, like a hurdle is like think of the for Native Americans the travois, the thing that goes over the back, like it's a a hurdle would be something you would drag through the streets instead of having wheels.
right? So it's like a cot almost, but one end is lifted,
Right,
and it kind
like
of drags.
you've got like a strap around your shoulders and you drag the
thing behind
poles
you.
behind you with straps between them, and he's basically, I will drag you on a hither. I will strap you to something and drag you to church.
And then what is this? Out on her hilding.
Hilding's another mean word for a girl.
Wow, he's kind of a jerk.
Mhm.
There's domain puling, wretched puling, fool.
Whining.
Okay, and then a whining,
whining
mammoth.
mammoth.
Mammoth, yeah, just like a little child.
Okay, all of these are
You're a
just
brat. You're a brat. You're a brat. You're a baby. You're a
indeed.
you're
Okay,
a gross
ungrateful
little
little
girl.
wretch.
You're ungrateful.
and the last thing I had was, and I know what it means, but thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. And this is after the nurses left,
Mhm.
and she is just saying bosom, meaning
Our hearts.
Right. You and my heart are.
Yeah, we no
twain
longer.
is
We don't.
torn
I'm not going to
asunder.
share my secrets with you.
They've been pulled. You and I are no longer connected.
Yes.
Okay, so then in this
Mm.
scene, Romeo, I mean, he doesn't want to go, but he has to go. He initially is like, no, I gotta go. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I'll stay.
Their night together
Oh, I
must
gotta
have
go.
gone well, and I don't mean to be. That's not in a rude way. I think they really ended up hitting it
Enjoyed
off.
each
Like they
other.
finally had time together,
Being
and it was good. So good that they didn't want to leave.
Right.
And so, but he has to. And at first, he's just being practical. He has to get up. He has to leave and say his goodbyes. She doesn't want
Right.
him to, and he argues mildly, and then he was
Yeah.
like, you know what? If you want, I'll stay.
Just
And
do it.
it's just a very sweet
I get
about
caught,
it.
I
And
get
then
caught.
she's fearful, and he's sweet about it, and then he leaves. So he has a pretty straightforward time.
But Juliet, unfortunately,
Oh,
this
she
scene
has
is
a
rough for
like
her.
a
Like
roller coaster.
good night with her new husband.
Yeah. And then she's got that
Ugh.
premonition something bad's going to happen.
Yes.
Then her mother comes in and she has to pretend that she is sad about Tybalt when she's sad about Romeo, and then she has to pretend that she's all about getting revenge when she really never says it. She never says she wants to kill Romeo.
No, she doesn't.
Mm-mm.
And then she has to, deal with the abuse of her father.
Oh yeah, and
You
then
know?
Dad comes in,
And then she loses.
she gets the good
all
news, and
three
she's
of
like,
them.
no. Like her immediate reaction is like,
Ah.
I won't get married to Paris. You can't make me. And of course they can. That's not this. Their society
Yeah.
isn't like that. She doesn't have a choice here. She's not being given a choice. And so her mom is like, what? You can't say no to that. And then Dad is like, what? You can't say no to that. And she's like, please just listen. Just listen.
And he freaks out.
Yeah. Nobody
he
wants to
leaves,
listen.
and then she's all like, Mom, seriously? And Mom's like,
Mhm.
nah.
Her mom is weird because even in this, like, she's fed up with her kid, but she's also telling Capulet that he's being too harsh.
Yeah, it's
Like,
too far. You're going too
Mhm.
far. Yeah, she's being a brat, but you're going too far.
Yeah.
She's a little conflicted here. Like the wedding seems to be coming on too fast for her liking.
Right.
She didn't expect it, but then, now that the decree is like, she went along. I feel like that's her thing, is she went along with what her parents said, and she goes along with what her
you think
husband
you have
says.
a say when I didn't
Like,
have a say?
I didn't have a say. You don't have a say. Who do you think you are?
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
done. And that's her. She's just out. She's not a very hands-on mom, and so that's Lady Capulet. We didn't finish Juliet though, because Juliet continues to have more.
Oh, because
Like
she loses her bosom, like her mother figure.
Yeah,
in
her
all of
mother
this, too.
figure and best friend, the nurse, has always been her best friend, like the only friend, right?
Right.
And so when she finally turns to her for advice and for support, the nurse says exactly what she doesn't want to hear, is like, just give up on the Romeo thing. You need to just move on and take on this Paris thing. And then she knows she's alone in this. She doesn't have any allies anymore. Or does she? She comes up at the very end with the one final ally that she
She's
might
gonna
have.
try, and that's going to see the friar, right? And pretending she's going to go to confession.
Mhm.
Yep.
So she can't even get out of there. Like, she can't even be honest with, she can't trust anybody anymore. There's nobody to trust and get counsel from. This is her last hope.
Yep.
Otherwise, she will handle it herself.
Absolutely.
So, just so you know, I made a little picture, and my little picture is a little signpost that says
Oh.
to Mantua. that
Mhm.
way for him being banished.
Okay. Oh, did we talk about
Did
everybody?
you see my picture, by the way? That's my little picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's, I don't know if it's 50 miles. I made that part up.
We didn't really talk about the nurse enough.
Well, she's scared that she's gonna get caught for her part in the whole thing, and also wants her girl to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks the best chance of happiness right now.
And she
is
just go
to
back and
marry
forth and back and
Paris.
forth.
She's not very consistent, but right now she's like,
Well, she's caught
this
also.
is the path of least resistance and
Yeah.
the safest and the most secure. You should.
She
do
was
this.
so brave, really,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
step in with Lord Capulet, her
Trying
boss,
to defend her when
and,
no one
and
else
tell him
was.
no.
True.
And she says her words are strong too.
Mhm.
You are to blame.
That's right.
Like, you are to blame. And he's like, you. And she's like, can not one speak? And she doesn't really have the right to speak up
Yeah.
against this man. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh. So it often is played in the scene as the nurse stepping in to physically protect Juliet.
Yeah.
Far more than the
Oh, I
the
think
mom
it's
does. The actual-
undoubtable that she loves Juliet desperately.
wants her okay. She wants her to be okay.
She's also caught in between two things where she is of a completely different class than Juliet and her parents, completely different. And she has a sister in this, so she's in fear for like the repercussions,
Mhm.
right? And she wants Juliet to be happy.
Yes.
I see why she would come up with Paris.
Yeah.
Because if Juliet stays with Romeo, what we don't, the
Yeah.
future is completely uncertain. But with Paris, it's certain.
And that would be
And
the
she'll still have her
that's
family,
a practical
and she wouldn't,
solution.
she wouldn't be out on the streets.
Yeah, because all that talk of you won't have anything
yes,
from
it
me.
must have been terrifying.
Yeah, for both the nurse and for Juliet.
Yeah.
The nurse knows what it's like not to have the money.
Yes.
And Juliet doesn't know,
Ugh.
but it must also be scary
Heavy.
for her to have one day she's got this stable situation
Yeah.
where she's never even thought about being married,
Right.
or
And then
leaving
2
her
days,
home.
and
And she's
suddenly
14 years old.
fudge.
Yeah.
Not even.
Not
She's
even.
2 weeks away from like.
Yeah, what a birthday present.
Woo.
Yeah.
She's
Whoa.
dead before she's 14.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm sorry. That's
spoiler
it's crazy.
alert. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of Act 3.
Act 3 done.
And we got a picture of the
Right.
Mantua
Did you get
signpost.
Did you get a picture?
I
yet?
did not
Oh,
get a picture
mm.
yet.
I did a picture.
Do a picture to
I
feel like
commemorate
that
the most
really-
important piece.
That has a lot of elements.
It's really
to
about
it.
the banishment.
It's like
really sets the tone.
Things have to happen for the banishment. Things have to be sorted out because of the banishment. And now there's a huge.
It's really
obstacle.
integral.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're done with this one, and we'll be back with
The next act, Act
4.
4. All right. I always make funny faces when I do this.